Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Do you mind if I record this and the if reason being like that way I can just go back and transcribe it instead of trying to
Sure,
write down
yeah, that's
everything you
totally fine.
say?
Yeah, yeah,
And I will always, whether it be like just written or video or anything like that, I would never share anything without like asking you ahead of
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Okay. Also, I just want to start though by quickly celebrating yesterday, like what you posted about how you felt when you.
Yeah. I mean, I was so tired. The meeting was 4 hours, which I did not expect at all. So got back home at like midnight, but the next day was just so energized. So it was really
Yeah.
exciting.
So it's
Yeah,
like the difference between totally buttoned up and
yeah,
know what we're doing. We're not going to surprise you. Like,
yeah. Oh, so it's
awesome.
great.
Awesome. Okay. So these questions I will just say is I got them from one of my coaches that's like,
Mhm.
it's always like, what do you ask people about, about their experience? Cause it's just so daunting to ask people like, tell me about it. It's too open-ended. So these are super
Sure.
specific. And so there's not a right or wrong answer, just whatever comes up for you is fine. So,
Okay.
um, so why did you initially want to work with me through the cohort, you think?
Um, So I know part of it, honestly, was I saw pictures of you with people that I was like looking at as like they're doing good things in the artist community. So that was part of it and meeting you. And I was just very almost desperate to make sure that I didn't go back to teaching full-time public school. So it was kind of like a promise to myself in that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there was a real need to make a change.
Yeah.
Okay. And it didn't feel like you were going to be able to make that change or you hadn't been making it on your own.
Yeah.
Okay. So about me specifically, it was more like you didn't know me. I mean, we met quickly at that one time, but it was that meeting and then maybe just like who I was hanging out with.
And I saw there was something that was like a recorded free thing that you did that I looked at too.
Oh, okay. So you went to the master class then, probably the dreams to, was it a creative mornings things or was it like the master
No,
class dreams to reality or path to
maybe
creative something like
something like that. It was something that I missed the live thing and then watched YouTube of.
you to watch the replay. Okay, great.
Mhm.
So what were some of your like worries or concerns about working with me or joining the cohort before you actually did?
Um, I mean, I just didn't know anything about coaching, I guess. And
Okay.
so I did like Google, like, is this a scam and things like that, just like I mean, it depends who you're working with. So,
Sure.
um,
Anything can be a scam,
yes,
unfortunately.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, and just, it is an investment and
Yeah.
especially for me, where I am. So just wanting to make sure that it would be worth it, whatever that means. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, what did that mean to you? What made it worth it? And like forward to now, do you think it has been worth it?
yeah. And I think too, it was like an add bonus in my mind that I would connect with other people in a cohort.
Mm,
So just like uh, that, I mean, that has been awesome.
mhm.
And I didn't go back to teaching full time, and I'm working towards these things and have made some mindset shifts. So it's definitely been worth it.
Okay. Awesome. So it was a little bit of a leap of faith for you,
Yeah, that's a good way
not
to say it. Yeah.
having not, and so which makes I'm really even more honored that you took the leap of faith. And I mean, me looking at it from the outside in, I think, wow, yes, a lot of progress, a lot of great things have happened. Again, you take credit for it. You look at how you created it, but I do
Mhm.
see how being coached and having some of these tools has helped you to do that. So what would you say it has helped you with the most, like the coaching, as far as just like your own creative
I think
process?
celebrating my wins along the way is a big thing that I was not doing.
Mhm.
Um, I just have been kind of like staying in motion as like best I can. And I think doing this while Amelia's been so little too has been good, because on my own I might have just been tired, and yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like
So,
enough.
yeah. Do you think that the celebrating, so do you think that having the time on your calendar for both the coaching call and then the magic action date, how
Hmm.
did that play into things for you?
Yeah, the magic action, especially, well, both of them, really, it was, I would not have taken that time to reflect every week. There's no way.
Mhm.
That it made me, like, even while other people were talking, I've written so much down. I've got like 2 notebooks full from just those times. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I want to honor and celebrate that in you too, that you really took it to heart. Like you were the only person in the cohort who hadn't worked with me before.
Mm,
So you were coming to, and now that I know that you were coming to coaching new, you were coming to me new, and yet like you did such a great job of getting what you came for, which I think the people that get the most out of working with me, that's what they do. They're like, I'm here to make this work. Like I'm not just waiting for Jill to tell me what to do next. And I could always see you, like you said so many times during our group coaching calls, I've already gotten so much out of this. If I'd already coached somebody or 2 people before it was your turn, you were like, and so when you do that, when you come to a group like that, like saying, I'm not just going to wait and think about what I need to ask her about, but really like absorbing all the learning from everybody, I think you just get like bonus.
yeah.
That's awesome. So what would you say then? Okay, so your concerns were you didn't know about coaching, you didn't know about me. You took that leap of faith, which I just want to, I love, I mean, I love that for other people, if you're cool with me sharing that. So, because there's going to be other people that it would be a leap of faith for them. And so to know that somebody else that hadn't worked with me before took that leap of faith and was like, oh yeah, no, I wouldn't have done this.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So what's been one of your favorite parts about doing this work?
Um, hmm. I mean, I've not invested in myself time like this ever before. So I think just learning to, I've spent a lot of my life taking care of other people. And so taking time and giving it back to myself has been really transformative, I think.
Yeah. Do you think it's something that you're going to continue?
Yes. And I mean, there's been stuff going on in the background of my life of like setting boundaries and things too. So it's
Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to ask you. Yeah. Would you say, I mean, I do see this often. I think this is true for you as well. People come to me ostensibly to work on a creative, either personal or professional project or idea or passion or whatever it is. But then some of the tools that we learn and the boundary setting and the self-concept and those kind of things end up kind of having a ripple effect into other areas of life.
mhm.
That, do you think that, how did that come across for you?
um I think just like letting go of some things that have been lingering from my past, and like knowing that there's more, like abundance mindset kind of.
Mhm.
um yeah.
Yeah, like trusting yourself
Hmm.
as well. Like I see that. I see you like, even in the one-on-one call that we had. That again, and this is also an awesome thing. Like you're coachable, because somebody that's coachable wants to make the change and they know they need to do the work themselves. They just need some help, like thinking about it and having some outside perspective. So you went from this, thinking I should probably stay with what's certain because it feels the most certain, to really seeing, oh, wait a minute, there's another way of looking at this. If I trust myself that I can supplant this income that I'd be walking away from in other ways that are actually way more aligned with my overall dream,
Hmm.
and then leaning into that trust, I couldn't do that for you, but just helping you to see that. And then you ran with it like
Yeah.
immediately.
Hmm. And I quit my job Monday after we talked Friday. I would still be stuck and way stressed out about all the stuff that I need to do for trade. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And if you think about that times, because you were going to be in it for the rest of the year, maybe even through the end of 20 or, May of
May.
2023.
Yeah.
And if you think about that in terms of the bandwidth, time, energy, all of that, that you get back, that's pretty.
It's very significant. Yeah. So yeah. Worst
Awesome.
case scenario, I get another job that pays $25 an hour. Like,
And you don't hate it, and they
yeah,
actually don't try to change things around on you, that kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So, so I asked you I know. When you said investing in yourself, you hadn't invested in yourself at this level before. What would you say that the difference is between this work, like being coached and being in a coaching group, and educational or training work, right? Because I do think sometimes we validate, it's easy to validate education and training.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what our society says. Get another degree, get another certificate. That's worthy.
Mm-hmm.
This is, what are you getting with this?
Mm-hmm.
Where's your piece of paper at the end?
Yeah. Um, I mean, I haven't done a lot of that either, honestly. Um, Besides like professional development with teaching.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question, really.
So you haven't, so maybe that's not something that held you back anyway, thinking that you had to have an MFA or a whatever to do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I do want to do that, but I haven't yet. So,
Right. And it's not holding you back from walking through the world as a professional artist.
mm-hmm.
So can you talk about that shift a little bit? Because I think that I just remember two things the most when you first joined. One was that you said it was the first time you'd said your dream aloud, or at least to your husband,
Mm-hmm.
wanting to be an artist, more income from art than from teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And then like introducing yourself in the world to new people as an artist. Can you talk about that shift?
Yeah. I think when Dawn started talking about acting as if y'all started talking about that,
Right.
kind of clicked something in my brain. Um, and so showing up places with that in mind helped. But two, I mean, I'm in a gallery now. I'm in like all these things. Like it's silly to not say that. And so the more I talked about it, it's helped a lot.
Yeah. Okay. You're just able to own it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So what would you say the biggest transformation was that happened for you, or that you created over the last 6 months?
Um, I think taking time to plan and reflect really is big and something that I'll continue. And like even this morning, which it's not in my character like something I usually do. I was very tired and I was like, okay, let's just rest this morning. So
you asked yourself what you needed.
yeah.
Yeah. I also hope that within the group, it's normalizing that kind of self-care, and it's normalizing that kind of checking in with ourselves instead of always looking outward. So that's another thing I think about coaching that people don't realize until they do it, is they may think I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. That might be a turnoff, or they might want me to do that, either way, but it's not that. It's more me helping you shine a light on what do you want to do, asking yourself, and then actually having the confidence and the time and energy to do it. So, yeah. And so from that, like, did the map in any way, how did that land with you? How did that part?
I haven't used that whole thing
Mm-hmm.
consistently. It's mostly been the celebrations. Like how can I make this more enjoyable? Thinking about that. And
Oh, the magic action questions too. Like, how can I make it more enjoyable, more doable, meaningful? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that, actually, to tell you the truth. I really love the fact that you can have gotten the results that you got just using the parts that spoke to you the most, like not even experimenting. I'm kind of the same way. Like I'm in my 5th round of this mastermind that I've been in, and there was just too much. Like there was so much, and I couldn't do it all. So I've just chosen for each round what I wanted to work on, but built on that. And then we don't fire hose ourselves. So that's so good, again, that you just kind of instinctively and listen to your intuition and said, this is the part that's working for me, and I don't need to try to do all this other stuff right now. It's okay. But it was there if you needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And then I guess, did anything surprise you about the experience, especially since you'd never worked with a coach before?
Yeah. It's all been new, so to say surprise is kind of, I
Yeah.
don't know if that's the right thing.
Mhm.
But I've been pleased, I guess, that it's worked and helped, and I am where I am now. So
Yeah. And where would you describe that, where you are now?
um, I'm working as a professional artist, and um, like whatever the audacious goal, like parts of it at least, are a reality. So
Yeah, that's
mhm,
right. Like when we thought about it, certain, possible, and audacious, you've already had more than one of your
mhm,
audacious now is certain.
mhm,
Cool. That's so
mhm.
good. Um, so who would you, if you were, would you recommend me to anybody? If you were going to recommend me, who would it be to?
I mean, I've thought about after that meeting with trade,
Mhm.
all of those women are really like on a trajectory already, but like any more people that I meet that are doing that kind of work, like trying to self-start with their art, I think, yeah, it could be really valuable.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Um, and as far as the other members of the cohort, you felt like that was a pretty aligned group?
Yeah, it's interesting because we're all doing very different things.
Yes.
But it was like a very like nurturing, positive group of people, and there's overlaps. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I really do always believe this. I always believe that just the right people are going to come together. And you're right, very diverse, different ages, different creative dreams, and yet super supportive. And I do think that sometimes it's even more helpful to be around people that have a variety of creative endeavors. So it's not all the same thing. Like,
Hmm.
so I think it gives you some perspective, some different perspective, which is helpful from.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have never connected with any of them, you know?
Yeah,
It
that's
just wouldn't
true.
have crossed paths. So yeah.
Yeah. Twyla said that one of her favorite parts was connecting with y'all and then like through Instagram,
Yeah.
getting to see getting to see you all in action,
Hmm.
you know, and
Yeah.
so that's very cool. All right. So all that's awesome. So I just because I happen to know this because you shared it with me, like, so were you thinking, or is your thought like, I'm going to join Thrive, or you've joined Thrive, which is like an artist collective, an online network? Is that how it works?
Yeah. So um I think mastermind, is that the thing? I think it started associated with that as a group there, but that's just something that I want to work with. So
Mhm.
it's something I'm picking up. Um
So how do they have like weekly meetings like we did, or
mhm.
and is it like hundreds of people, thousands of people, dozens?
There's usually about 60 on the call from the ones I've been to so far.
Mhm. And who runs the calls?
There's it's Caitlin Butane was the woman leading Artist Mother Network, and then she's joined with another woman who's in Canada, and I don't even know her name honestly, but I listen to their podcast.
Okay, so are they
Um,
artists?
Caitlin is yeah, I think they're both visual artists.
Okay, all right. So are they coaching, or is it kind of like a support group? I'm just curious.
It's
Like,
more support. So like we have on the it's called Art and Tea is every Tuesday.
uh-huh.
And right now we're doing all together, we're calling it a residency. And so we set goals in September last month, wrapping up, and then we're checking in with each other each week. So they'll present a few things. We go into small groups with 4 people for 10 minutes, meet each other, check in, um, go back into the big group, and then have a 20-minute with that same 4 people. So we're meeting new people.
Mhm.
And then there's an extension at the end if you want to stay that they're calling Boost Group,
Mhm.
where everyone puts their social media handle and posts at the same time and goes in and like comments and works with each other's stuff to try to boost it on the algorithm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's nice.
Yeah.
So in your mind, are you seeing this as a replacement for the cohort?
Not really, but it's just something else that I want to try, and I don't have time for all these things.
Right,
So
right. Okay. So I appreciate you taking the time so much to share all this with me and letting me just ask you these questions. And I hope it's felt comfortable and fine.
Mhm.
So what would your reason be then for not continuing on with the next cohort?
Um, I mean, really, it's just for one, money.
Mhm.
Um, is not really in my budget to do it right away again.
Mhm.
Um, but I wanted also just want to take these tools and kind of see what happens.
On
Um,
your own. Uh-huh.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Can you foresee a time that you would want to join the cohort again in the future?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So, I don't know when, but I
Sure.
think like I'll know there's ebbs and flows, and when I'm in an ebb, I'll probably want to reach out again.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I get it. Absolutely. I've just, and thanks for letting me ask you that question, because it's not from a place of like, oh, you're doing something wrong by not doing it at all.
Mhm.
I really am truly curious because it
Right.
helps me. And it's just interesting because the answer that I normally get is I want to try to do it on my own. And then it's just, especially since we've worked together and we've got a couple more weeks together, um, like setting yourself up ahead of time intentionally to really check in on that and ask
Mhm.
yourself whether it's monthly, probably monthly would be good to do. Just like
Yeah.
monthly go, okay, am I doing it? Like, am I doing the things that I was doing in the cohort that I want to still be doing? What's working? What would be better if I had a coach? Just to ask yourself for you to really, because I think what happens is we just go off and then we just start doing our stuff and it just becomes our new normal again.
Right.
Or like Dawn and other people have like, they go away and then they're like, oh yeah, damn, no, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, and neither one is right or wrong. Like that, I hope if anything you've taken away that I want to impart with everybody that works with me always is there really and truly isn't a right way or a wrong way to do it in the world. It's a
Mhm.
right way or a wrong way to do it for us. And so what I'm really wanting to do is hold us just a safe, non-judgmental space for you to figure that out on your own and have support to figure that out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I know it would be beneficial. I just need to do other things. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I guess to end, do you have is there anything that would have made this like better for you that you can think of?
Mm, I don't know. I think it gave me what I needed for now.
Hmm.
Mm,
Yeah. So you were like the group versus one-on-one, you only had one-on-one call, but to you, the group was like between the magic action date and the coaching, that was plenty.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have done if I didn't have a baby running around the 2 a day magic actions on Thursdays, because yeah, that
Yeah.
was really helpful for me.
Okay, good. Cool.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate it so much. I look forward to staying connected because yay, we live in the same city.
Yeah.
And go to a lot of the same stuff. So are you doing anything out and about this weekend? There's so much happening.
Um, what is this weekend? I don't think I'm doing anything art related. I signed up for creative mornings and I missed the thing this morning, but it sounded
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, it did. I missed that one too.
Mhm.
It's hit or miss because I work out early in the morning. So I have to like change that whole thing around to be there by 8:30. I've got to be leaving the house by 8, but I do highly recommend it. It's
Sounds
a bunch
cool.
of cool people and it always changes and there always, always something cool going on. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to West Edge and hopefully to go see Jamilia's show with her and
Oh, good.
Demarcus, who's in town, maybe today, and get to see that before. If I don't get there today, I hope to get there today. I'll go on
It's so
Sunday.
good. When I was gallery sitting, people from her childhood were coming in and like, oh my gosh, I know you, and like talking about the work. So it was really cool.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, well, very cool. And you're at the Cedars for how much longer?
Until June.
Until June. Okay, cool. And then yeah, you'll post about your classes and all that kind of stuff on Instagram and everything as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I'm always
Yeah.
happy to share.
Yeah. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, Laura. Bye-bye.
Bye.